Hello everybody, this is Lodge, and today I'm going to be going through all of my predictions for the various E3 presentations. I have been watching E3 since like 2013 and have been viewing them each year since then. Well, viewing them if they actually happen, of course. And I thought I would talk about everything I expect to see at this year's E3, even though it may be at least a little different from every other E3 I've watched. Now, I'm not going to go through everything that will be in these presentations. I fully expect some of these presentations to have games that ultimately I really don't care that much about, so I'm only going to be really talking about the stuff in the presentations that I want to see. Okay, that seems like enough of preemptive for this video. Let's get right into the video, starting with the Xbox presentation. And starting with the Xbox presentation, their presentation is going to be a little bit different from the previous years, seeing as this is the first year since Xbox was able to acquire Bethesda and all the other studios that came with them. So this year will most likely be a little bit longer than usual. However, before I talk about the Bethesda section of the presentation, I wanted to talk about what most people will think is the most important part of Xbox E3 this year, being Halo Infinite. Seeing as we have not seen any more gameplay since last July, it'll be important for 343 to bring their A game this year. It'll be a chance to show the public and media how much the game has improved graphically and also show off more of the mechanics. I believe we'll get two sections of Halo in this E3, one talking about the campaign and another showing off the highly anticipated multiplayer. I really think either of these could come first, but I personally think the campaign will be shown off first, and I think it'll be interesting to have the campaign mission they showed off at the last demo in July. With this, they could really show fans how they are able to improve the game graphically with this year delay, and I hope they also show something new from the campaign side. Maybe a new environment, new weapons, new enemies. Okay, maybe that last one's a bit out there, though I think a lot could be shown off with this. Oh, and I've also seen some people saying that they want Joseph Staten on a stage like in the Halo 2 days, and I'm not exactly sure there'll be a stage. Maybe everyone will be in their own homes. But I agree that they should have him be the face of this new campaign demo, get old fans to see a familiar face playing Halo. Other than that though, I really think anything could happen with the campaign demo that they show off. Now with the more important part of the Halo portion of the Microsoft presentation, the multiplayer. I think seeing multiplayer at this event is almost a 100% certainty to me that it'll be here in some way. If it is not here, I'm gonna be really surprised if the game is not delayed to next year. I mean, the game's marketing really needs to officially start up after E3. I think as we see the multiplayer, we'll see how the game plays and how free-to-play will work. And this multiplayer will probably be divisive because it's Halo in 2021, so it has to be divisive. We'll see gameplay of it with like a map or two, and I really think we could hear about when the first fights are taking place. These fights are supposedly so close to the release date that I really think that they have to be stress tests and not changing mechanics that the Halo 5 Guardians beta was. And finally, ending off the Halo portion, they will give a release date, and it'll probably be around November 15th, and hopefully marketing starts for that game throughout the year. Okay, and the only other thing that I'm really excited to see at Xbox's presentation is what Bethesda will do. I'm not exactly so sure that Starfield will come out this year. From last we saw of it, it did not show any real gameplay, so it might need some more time in the oven. Especially with the pandemic making the dev process run a bit slower than it would in years past. Though I do think we'll get some sort of trailer, probably showing off some sort of gameplay that tells us more about what the game will be. Also, I think we get another teaser trailer for the Elder Scrolls 6. I expect Starfield's taking up a lot of developers that would have worked at the Elder Scrolls if they weren't making it, so it's still likely that it could be in the early stages of development. But yeah, that's all I'm really expecting from the Bethesda part. Maybe talking about Doom DLC or maybe another sequel? I don't know, but that's all I'm really predicting with them. And that's all I'm really excited for with Xbox. And I am 100% certain we'll see a whole lot more at the event. Though I do not know enough to be predicting these things. Probably more release dates for the first party games and such. And now onto the smaller companies, and unlike Microsoft's presentation, I'm just going to list off what games I want to see and expect to see. With Ubisoft, I want to see a new 2D Rayman that's like Origins and Legends, though I'm not sure how likely that is with the recent stuff happening over at Ubisoft, but I would really want it. Also, I fully expect to see another Assassin's Creed, either at the C3 or the next one, though I guess Valhalla did just come out, so it's probably the next one. And that's kind of all I got with Ubisoft. Maybe a new Mario and Luigi Rayman game. The last one was pretty cool. And now on to Capcom. I could see a new Mega Man game, and I think if we do get a new one, it'll probably be Mega Man 12, or even the 9th Mega Man X game. Either would honestly be nice. Something that I would really want from Capcom would be Devil May Cry 6. Though, I think it could be a bit too early for that game. But after 5, I really just want more from that series. Now, Square Enix has already said which games will be appearing. Though I'm sure we could see more, I really wouldn't expect the second part of 7 Remake at this E3. Even next year may be a little bit too early, with Intergrade coming out in a few days. And I can half expect to see a quick trailer for Final Fantasy XVI. Though I'm surprised it was not listed as one of the games to be shown. And we'll probably get some of those smaller games coming out, like The World Ends With You 2 and that sort of stuff. And with that, that is all the smaller companies that I really wanted to talk about. And we are on to the final presentation that I am heavily looking forward to, Nintendo. They have said that their Direct is going to be around 40 minutes long, and talking mostly about the games coming in 2021. Though I always expect to see 1 or 2 announcements that are beyond the end of year at Nintendo's E3. I mean, even in their last General Direct in February, they talked about Splatoon 3, which is supposedly coming out next year. Technically, we do not know of any of the games that will be shown here, though I am hoping at this E3 we see more of Breath of the Wild 2. It could be a lot like Nintendo's 2016 E3, where at the event we saw a lot of the first Breath of the Wild, but did not get a release date. Though I have a little hope that it will be Nintendo's big holiday game for this year. And if we do not even get a trailer for Breath of the Wild 2 this year, then I'm going to say it's not coming out till like November 2022. And if they do show Breath of the Wild 2, maybe they could also show if they have more for Zelda's 35th anniversary coming up. Maybe Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. Other than that though, we could see a short trailer for Pine 4, though I really don't think that that's coming until at least the end of 2022. And I'm not sure how big that game is in scope, and I would imagine it's pretty large of what the developers at Retro would want to do. Although, to hold over Metroid fans, we could see Nintendo do another 2D Metroid, like Samus Returns on the 3DS, and I'd personally be fine with a Returns port for Switch, but a new 2D game would be really cool. Maybe we'd get Metroid Dread finally? I also want to know what Monolith Soft has been working on since Xenoblade 2. I know that they did Definitive Edition, but I'm sure their full team was not working on it. Maybe Xenoblade 3, X2, that whole new IP that they announced. Honestly, Monolith could do anything, I would be fine. Though I'm sure they are helping with Breath of the Wild 2 again, so their new game could be a bit slow in coming out. I also expect the next Smash DLC character, and I have no idea who it could be. But after Pyra and Sephiroth, I'm fine with anyone. Maybe Crash, Spyro? Honestly, anyone's fine with me though. Other than that though, I'd be fine with anything. I honestly expect to see some more Splatoon 3. May it be a short trailer or a large one. That was shown off pretty early for a game that's coming out next year. But yeah, maybe a Mario spin-off other than the golf game. Maybe that rumored Donkey Kong game made by the people who developed Odyssey. That would be cool to see a different take on Donkey Kong. And they may have Atlas show off SMT5, though I could see Atlas just doing their own thing on that one later in the year. Oh, and this is a really out there hope, but I want a new Kid Icarus game. I'd honestly be fine with a port of the 3DS game, I just want more of that game, please. From there though, I honestly do not expect a lot of huge announcements. The ones I put in this video have like a 50% chance of happening in my mind. And if only one of them were to happen, I'd honestly see the rest of them go down to like a 10% chance. But I'm looking forward to Nintendo's Direct. And of course this has to be said, but E3 is always a place that'll end up with someone's disappointment. So honestly, do not go into this E3 with a ton of high hopes for all the future games to be announced with a good release date that's happening super soon. But just enjoy what we do get. Understand that the past year has been difficult for game developers, and know that some games will be delayed because of this. And with that, I hope you enjoy the video, and have a good day. Goodbye.